So today's video, I'm just going to demonstrate the technique and show you the tools and supplies for this. And then in a later video, I'll show you how I achieve this on a live model. Working with my girl Sheila today, I've already parted off a section of her hair and I'm braiding down that section about 3 or 4 inches and then twisting the rest of the hair down. I'll only be using one type of hair today, this spring twist hair from a company called Bileaf on Amazon. This is a company that you probably see me use quite often in my videos. They're very reliable. I order from them all the time. I did reach out to them and they were kind enough to send me this beautiful 1B350 color just for this video. And I'll also be pairing it with a 1B as well to kind of tone it down a little. For a full head, I would suggest a minimum 3 bundles or 90 spring twist. The first technique I'm going to show you is the basic install on long hair without an extension. So I'm taking that section that I have already braided and twisted down and I'm crocheting with my crochet hook the end of it into the base of the braid. And for each lock, I'm going to be using 2 spring twists and I'm going to pull the twist apart, basically fluff them out. We want them to be as fluffy and as kinky as possible. Now you're more than welcome to use whatever hair you like. I've seen people use passion twist hair or water wave hair to achieve this, but I've tried it and I've tried many different variations of it, and this is the hair that I've landed on as the best option for the best result in my opinion. Of course, how it looks is totally up to the artist who is creating it, but this hair in my opinion gives me the result that I want. It gives me structure and it ensures that the lock will last longer because the curl pattern is tighter. I found there to be less instances of it unraveling or loosening or the client's natural hair coming out of the lock. So once I've got everything fluffed out, I'm going to go ahead and crochet the 2 pieces in the base of the braid, and then I'm going to stretch them to the length that I want the lock to stop. So the piece that I'm holding in my left hand along with the braid, that's going to be just as long as I want the lock to stop, and then the piece I'm holding with my right hand is the piece that I'm going to be wrapping with. Now spring twist hair naturally curl patterns to the right, so the best option here is to wrap to the right, because what happens is if you try to wrap against the curl pattern, then it will likely unravel over time a little bit easier. You want to go with the curl pattern so that it stays nice and tight. Alright, so when I was learning this is the part I kept getting hung up on. I've heard people say just wrap it loosely and you'll get that textured look, but every time I wrapped it loosely, it still had like unnecessary unraveling in places that I didn't like. So I really wanted to really understand this thumb method, but everything that I saw, nobody really explained how to do the thumb method. They kind of just showed you but didn't really explain. So what I'm going to do is explain to you how to make this thumb method work. And if you don't know, the thumb method is what gives you those nice plump bubbles throughout the lock to kind of give it that textured look but also give it that structure. Okay, so here goes. Every 3 or 4 rotations of the wrap, I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to slide it underneath a very small portion of the wrapping hair, and I'm going to hold it there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it on top of my thumb without removing my thumb. I'm going to wrap it on top of my thumb, and then the second wrap around I'm going to wrap below my thumb. I'm going to remove my thumb. So don't worry, I'm going to show this to you multiple times, but the key here is to grab a very small piece, a substantial piece, enough that it's going to stick out, and you're going to hold it, wrap above your thumb, and then remove your thumb and then wrap underneath your thumb. That's what locks the bubble in. Every other video I saw, nobody really explained that, and I had to literally practice this myself over and over again until I came up with an easy, efficient way of explaining it to you guys. Basically, you're just holding a very small piece to create that bubble, then you're going to wrap above your thumb, hold it again, then wrap under the thumb underneath the bubble to lock that bubble into place. Now as I move down the lock and I need more length, if I run out of wrapping hair, I'm going to combine all the hair together and then grab the longer pieces and begin wrapping with the longer pieces. To seal off the bottom, I'm going to twist the end together and then fold it up on itself to create a loop. And for added security, I add a drop of nail glue right there where the loop is tied. Then I continue wrapping to the right. I found this to be important because if you fold the loop up and then try to wrap to the left, the opposite direction, then the loop will come undone. It will basically just twist around on itself. So continue wrapping in the right direction and you don't have any unraveling. So as you move to the top of the head, you're likely going to have to extend the lock. So here's my way of doing it without having to use additional types of hair. You can just use the same spring twist hair. I'm folding up the natural hair through the braid. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking one spring twist, fluffing it out, and then attaching it to the bottom of the loop of the braid. That's my extension piece. Then I'm going to fluff out my normal two pieces for my wrapping. Crochet those through the base. I'm going to pull them a little bit higher so I have more length on the wrapping, then proceed to wrap as normal. Pay close attention again, you guys, because I am going to show how to do that thumb method again. So even though this lock is extended, this is not going to change how I seal off the bottom. I'm still going to twist it and then turn it up on itself and continue wrapping to the right. So that completes this video, you guys. I hope it covered the basics for you. Again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody does this technique different. These are just the techniques that I have discovered work best for me to get the uniformity that I desire, because it's so hard for me to be messy and neat at the same time. Comment below if you can relate. I am such a true Virgo. Today's video is actually Braid School's 50th episode, so yay for us. This channel would not be possible without the interest and support of you guys, so I am eternally grateful for all of your love and support. Of course,